Turns out this game mode is an absolute beast. Today, I'm going to share with you the build that I'm going to use to farm this event for red stars to get the best loot in the game, basically a ton of exotic caches, and load up on mega XP at the same time by running directives. Let's jump into it.
And if you don't know, now you know.
So as you know by now, the name of the game when it comes to global events is leveling up your character. That means XP. You want lots of it. And one of the best ways to get XP is by turning on directives. But not all global events are compatible with directives. It depends on your playstyle and the builds that you're using and the buffs and debuffs that come with the event. Because what you don't want to happen is your directives slowing down the amount of content that you're clearing per hour. In a perfect world, you want to clear tons of content per hour with all 5 directives and be using a build that makes it feel like you're not running any directives. And sometimes global events give you the buffs to be able to do that extremely well, where clearing a control point in 2.5 to 3 minutes becomes really easy with certain global events. In solo mode, playing with explosive builds might not always be the fastest way to earn XP in the Division 2. And the reason why is because with explosive builds, you sort of are waiting for the enemies to come to you. Even when you're running cluster seeker mines, many times they don't one-tap elite enemies. And if you're playing heroic content with directives, there's a good chance that's not happening. And so you're gonna end up having to throw out multiple waves of seekers to reach those enemies that are hiding in the back and whatever. And that just all eats time. And the artillery turret, which is extremely powerful, is just slow. So this is the build that I'm going to use to farm XP. It's tailored for heroic content, and I suggest you run it with 4 directives. The directive that you don't want to run is scavenge skills. That's because you want your skills handy so that you can disable shields basically on demand. All right, brace yourself. This build is going to look crazy to you. It's a 4-4 build, so it's got 4 skill tiers and 4 red cores. Basically, the idea of this build is to be able to one-tap enemies using whatever your favorite sniper is and determined. So you can go extremely fast at clearing the field. But at the same time, have your skills at a maximum uptime so that you can deploy them and break the shields on demand when you have enemies in your face. And you're getting unlimited TAC 50 ammo. So if you need to, you can whip out that beast and take out an enemy, break their shield, and activate your headhunter, and then go to town with determined. As I put more and more hours into the Hollywood Global event, one of the things that I learned is it's not necessarily about skill damage or explosive damage. In the end, it's about frequency. That's a bigger topic when it comes to pure explosive builds. But for this build, what's most important is the frequency in which you have access to your skills, not the damage. The damage is tripled. The area of effect is tripled. It's crazy strong. But all you're looking to do is break the shields, which is going to damage them, and apply collateral effect damage. And from there, you're just going to finish them off with your determined headhunter combination with a single shot through their chest and chain kill, chain kill, chain kill. So you're going to want to run the sharpshooter specialization so you can take guys out at range and break shields and kick off your headhunter chest talent. Going to the chest, I have Brazos, which is giving me skill haste, and I'm running 2 pieces. That's also giving me a skill tier. I have a red core here, and then I have headshot damage and armor regen, which I'm not really using, and then headhunter. So if you need to slap this build together and you don't have a Brazos headhunter chest piece, whatever, just get something that's close. This Brazos can also be on the gloves. Don't get fixated if you don't get that headshot damage attribute on your chest. Don't sweat it. Just roll with whatever you got. Skill haste would be my next favorite option there, or even weapon handling. But I do like the red core. Aim to keep that. So what you're looking for here is just a chest that already has headhunter on it so that you could change the core to reds. Because again, you want a 4-4 red to yellow ratio. The other Brazos is the Picaro's holster. Pretty easy to get this one. It's got weapon damage and headshot damage. And then I rolled the skill tier here. So I'm running 2 pieces of hot shot. So that's giving us 30% marksman rifle damage and 30% weapon handling. That's sort of what I'm really after there, because I want to be able to swap weapons quickly and go back and forth from that TAC 50 with ease. And so we got weapon damage and headshot damage and skill haste. So if your chest piece didn't have headshot damage on it, and maybe you got something like skill haste there instead or whatever, then go ahead and take off that skill haste mod and put headshot damage there to supplement. It's not going to be a big deal. All right, the knees are my second piece of hot shot, and I got weapon damage and headshot damage. The gloves are Hannah U for skill haste. We want maximum uptime, the skill tier, and we got more skill haste and headshot damage. You can craft this if you don't have it. And the backpack has the memento, and I put more skill haste here. We really want the memento. So it's gonna give you 30% weapon damage, armor, bonus armor, armor regen, which is at 3%. And then skill efficiency, you're gonna have 30% skill efficiency when you have all 30 trophies. And then every time you grab a trophy, you're gonna get 5% skill efficiency per skill tier you have. You have 4 of those. So that's 20% skill efficiency. And remember, skill efficiency has skill duration, status effects, skill damage, skill haste, everything that you need to be successful for Hollywood Global Event. Really good piece here. Looking at the weapons, and we're gonna touch on the skills because those are important. So I'm running the Covert SRS. It's got 12 in the mag. I really like this one. You can use whatever your favorite is. Just make sure it's got a decent base damage. And then I have Determined. That's allowing this to chain kill off of the body, but you do have to activate it. And so if you're new, a lot of new players don't realize that. So they start shooting the body right away, thinking that they're able to chain kill, but you have to activate this with a headshot kill. Remember that. So there's a mechanic. So I like to use the TAC 50 or the Nemesis first to get my first headshot kill there. So I get a really strong Headhunter buff, which is the talon on the chest, and then I switch over to my primary, the Covert SRS, and get another headshot kill. It's required to activate Determined. It only takes 2 headshot kills, and from that point, you can chain kill off anywhere on the body. My backup is the Nemesis. The Sweet Dreams would also be good, but I use this against those really tanky bosses. The pistol is the D50. I do recommend a really good pistol, and I have Determined on this. The reason why is because you're running the Pistolero directive, which means you're not gonna have ammo. You're gonna need to get a kill with your pistol from time to time to reload on ammo. So Sharpshooter does regenerate ammo for you when you're in cover. So try to play in cover as much as possible and try not to move too much, because when you break cover to move, then it sort of starts that timer over. So just be cautious, be wary of where your ammo situation is, and then get a pistol kill if you need to. The thing about these one-shot kill headshot builds is that they have reach, and so you want your skills to have reach too. So if there's an enemy far away and you need to break his shield in order to start your one-shot chain killing, well, you can use your TAC 50 to do that, but you also want your skills really ready. You don't want the skills to be super tedious. You want them to be easy to deploy. So I have the Burster Firefly, and if you didn't know, if you double tapped your skill, it'll quick deploy that and just tag all the nearby enemies. And so these are like mini little sticky bombs that it drops on the enemies, and when they're in close proximity, they're gonna blow up. Really neat. So that's like double collateral damage. The other skill is the Jammer Pulse. It's got a 17-second cooldown at its base. And then if you roll on some expertise to this, you can actually increase the radius. So what's important about this skill is its radius. So you want it to be as wide as possible so that you can cast a net and disable as many shields with a single pulse. And once you pick up those trophies, these skills are going to be coming back all the time, right when you need them. This build was perfectly tuned to play extremely fast and quickly and constantly disable the enemy shields, allowing you to clear content as if you didn't have the event on, but you're still getting the perks from the event. So if we look at the stats, I have 229% headshot damage, and then we have 30% weapon handling. So looking at the mods on the gun, I didn't show you the mods. I am running the 8x scope. I like running the 8x scope. I play faster with it because my ADS time is faster with it. And then I have stability here and more stability and more rounds. So if you're going to be playing in group, I don't suggest you use this build. Here's the deal. This is what we discovered playing in a group all day today. So we took on Legendary Roosevelt Island with the global event on and ran it in a group. And then we did all the invadeds as a group with the global event on, and all of that content we did with directives. And this is what we discovered, is that the grenade launcher is so overpowered in this event. It's basically a full-time weapon. You almost don't even have time for any other weapon. Seeker mines, in fact, are too slow, because what ends up happening is your allies are just standing in front of a door and spanning the grenade launcher. And just by breaking the shield of the enemies, you get more ammo. So you never even run out of ammo. So it's really difficult to find a weapon or any skill that can compete with the grenade launcher. It's basically unlimited and can rapid fire. So that can be frustrating in group mode if you don't have a grenade launcher, if you're not running a grenade launcher, because anybody who's figured that out is going to be stealing all the kills and all the special ammo and stuff like that. So if you're going to be running in group, you're probably going to want to run the grenade launcher, and you might end up up finding that's the weapon you're using like 90% of the time, which may not be a good thing. I gotta say, it's sort of not. Kind of doles out the game mode when you figured out one weapon is so overpowered, it becomes the meta and the only thing you're using. When that happens, it sort of ruins the game. And if you try to use something else, then all of a sudden you can't compete, and then you're forced into using the grenade launcher. There's nothing wrong with the grenade launcher. It's the first time that it really feels good. The grenade launcher is really weak in normal gameplay, so I'm happy about that, except it will sort of ruin build diversity in group gameplay. So watch out for that when you're playing in group. Otherwise, for solo, so much to explore here, but for farming XP and clearing content quickly, I'm liking this one. Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Tuxedo Bandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.